Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today let's talk about a feature that's been around since Java 14 but still underrated by many. That is nothing but records in Java. So this is the topic that we are going to cover in this video. So I'm going to cover what is records, what is the use of records, and characteristics of records. Then we are going to cover how to use records. So these are the main topics that we are going to cover today's video. Now let me tell you what is the record. What is records, right? In Java, record is a special type of class. Okay, this is the main point, guys. Record is a special type of class. It's not something else. Another point is it is designed to model immutable data in a concise and readable way. This is very important. So it is basically designed to model immutable data in a concise and readable way. Clear? Now, this record, which was initially launched in Java 14 as a preview version, and from Java 16, it was officially launched. Now, if you are using Java lesser version like Java 11 or less than of that, then you cannot use records. Try to upgrade your Java version. Now, try to understand why or what is record actually basically, or what is the use cases when to go for records, right? Now imagine that you need a simple data. You need a data simple, or you can say you need simple data that you are going to use for your code, for your application. Like, let me tell you simplest data I can think about, that is a person, right? So for a person, I can take the person information like person name, person age, person gender, right? So these are the information generally we stored for a person class. So for my case, if I need to work with this data, what do we do? Create generally, we create a person class. Then we add some private variables with name, with age, with gender, right? These are my variables. And after that, what I do, we do add constructor, right? We do add constructor, and then constructor again we do set the variables, right? This dot, this dot, this dot. Or we are adding getters or setters, we add getters or setters, and we can have some other methods like we can have equals method, we can have hash code method, or we can override toString method. These are the methods also sometimes we do override into our person class or any other data classes, right? So instead of this, so this is a big boilerplate code, isn't it? Every time we need to have some sample data of a class, so we end up creating this type of classes. So this is nothing but a traditional approach what we do follow right now. So instead of that, if I see there is a way we can get rid of this writing boilerplate code, we can use records, which is going to help us just in a single line. Instead of writing this complete code, we can write it like this way. Let's say public, and we can use the record keyword, record, and you give the name of the person class. So that is nothing but a person, and here you will be passing the parameters. What are the parameters you are going to accept? So this is nothing but a single one liner statement. You can see one liner definition, one liner code that you are going to write for records. Okay, and this is the exactly same job which is you are achieving by creating a normal class. This is something we can achieve by using the record class. So can you imagine, instead of writing this longy code, this lengthy code, we can achieve that same job by using just a single line of code. Isn't it super cool? Now let me show you in example, right? So that you can understand it better way. So I'll take you to IntelliJ where I have written one person class. So you can see here, this is the person class. I have added two you can see private variables, and I have added a constructor to set the values of these variables. So this is my constructor. I am setting up the values of my variables, and after that I have a toString method to provide the person information. So this is going to return me the person information, complete information, and I can have some separate methods to get individual details like name, age, or some other details, right? So not only those things, beside of these things also I can have some other methods, like we can override the equals method, we can override hash code, we can override string methods. So all these things that we do in general in our normal cases, right? So this is how the traditional approach, we create classes we for to get the data. So instead of that, if I tell you that there is a approach by using the record, and we can achieve that just within a single line. Here it is. So here, this is the employee. I have created a class, and the type of the class is nothing but a record. So I have to use this keyword, that is a record, and you provide the class name, and within the parentheses you are passing the parameters that you are going to accept. Okay, so this is, and that's it. In the body part, I do not have to write anything. This is for a simplest, you can say, example of a record. Later on we'll come inside, in next video we'll be coming that what all the things we can do inside of the body of this record class. But for now, let's try to stick into the basic uses cases of the record class, right? So this is the simplest record class that I have created, and with this record class I can do exactly same operations, I can achieve the same goal what we perform with this, you can say, normal classes, right? Let me show you the example how can we use this. So here is a test record class. In this I'm going to have a main method, and I have created object of person class. Here you can see, and I'm passing our data. This is my name, and age I have passing of the person. Similarly, I have created object of the employee. This is the employee class, which is expected name and age as a parameters. As a arguments I'm passing from here when I'm creating the object of a employee. You can see I passed the name, I passed the age, right? And thus similar way I can print the information of a person. At the same time I can print the name, I can print age, right? At the same time, for the employee class also I am able to print all these things. But although I did not define the name method, or I did not define the age method inside of this employee class, right? So let me run this code now. If I run this code, you can see we're getting the exactly same output what we got from the person class. There is no difference. Can you see that? There is no difference. Exactly same output that we're getting from the record class, and this is nothing but, you can say, the amassing, right? So instead of writing this lengthy code, this is a boilerplate code, lengthy code, and boring code, right? Instead of that, I can just write one single line of code which is going to serve the same use cases, same utility what we do with the normal cases. So why not? This is a one go-to tool, one go-to, you can say, approach why we don't use this, right? I hope this is something you are understand what is the use case of record now. Clear? Okay, now let's try to understand some of the characteristics of records. So here the variables I am taking, the parameters name, age, or the methods that have, right? So what are the characteristics? Let me take you to the presentation there. So here you can see the characteristics. So some of the characteristics of records is it is nothing but a built-in, okay, purpose built for data carrying purpose. We are using the records. So that is something I have told you in the definition, right? And also it is reducing creating of boilerplate code, right? We do not have to write our boilerplate code multiple times for each and every requirement. We do end up creating those code, right? So those things we do not need at all. Another thing is it is immutable by default. means the records you can see all are by default final. Okay, so once you create, you cannot change the data, and as it is a final and immutable, so you can see this is a thread shape also. And another thing is it is a very friendly to your performance, so it is a less memory overhead. It is going to take a less number of memory. And some other example, some other you can see characteristics like it is a pattern matching. It is helping you records fit beautifully with modern Java features like pattern matching. Okay, and also more readable, maintainable code, less clutter, more focus on logic, clean code, right? So this is something nothing but there are a lot of features, a lot of facilities we are able to see for records. So that's it for this video, guys. If you have any doubt, question, queries, let me know. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you, guys. Bye.